Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2CTV, your global news channel. I'm Maya 2C and this is your latest news update from British politics, specifically British parliamentary politics and party politics in general. We're going to be talking about the latest update that I've now received on 2CTV as we got in touch with both the Conservative Party and Reform UK, and it's not really looking too good. Also, first things first, as you can see, I'm not in my home studio. We are somewhere in Spain, and over the last few hours, people keep coming to me and keep saying, why didn't you bring Tommy Robinson with you? I was like, well, he's not going to follow me everywhere. Yes, another Reform UK MP has decided to voluntarily and permanently leave the party, and he will be staying as an independent MP. So Reform UK have now gone back to having just 4 MPs again. Now, because of this, I did ask the 2CTV team to get in. The problem in Britain is not just about the political establishment. It's actually, we seem to be having a bit of an internet problem. Are we frozen? This is great, isn't it? Hang on. Can you guys confirm when you can hear and see me? Because this is not going to help. The Wi-Fi is supposed to be very good here. This is exactly why I can't wait for my Starlink to arrive. I have purchased Starlink. It's on its way. What? Okay, can you guys? I'm back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, fine. Let's start. Okay. James McMurdo has now left Reform UK. He's now independent MP. Okay, that's the summary. I did ask the 2CTV team to get in touch with the Conservative Party and Reform UK to find out exactly what is going on. Before we went live, I saw a couple of comments in the live chat. The problem we have in Britain is not just the political establishment, it's some people. Trust me, it's the people. People who are political and they don't understand how politics works. So I scheduled this video to give you guys the update about the parties right now. And obviously we're talking about parliamentary parties. The point is, and I'm going to exactly tell you why, that the parliamentary so-called right-wing parties, as in the 2 parties, the Conservative Party and Reform UK, have given up on conservatism. There were a couple of people in the live chat saying, no, we haven't given up. Well, firstly, who's we when you say we? We're not talking about people. We're not talking about you. We're not talking about me. We're talking about the parliamentary party. And someone said, no, but we have Restore Britain. Restore Britain is Rupert Lowe's movement. It's not a party. And they said, well, what about Advance UK? Like Ben Habib is a great friend of mine. He's going to come to my wedding. Advance UK is not a parliamentary party. We are talking about parliamentary parties in the Houses of Parliament. People need to listen and understand what's going on in this country. Well, not in this country, I'm in Spain. But let's talk about the problem. When we found out about James McMurdo, and when I asked the team to get in touch with the parties, the main 2 parties for centre-right, to find out what is going on with these guys. First things first, let me just read what James said, because he's under investigation, right? James said that further to my statement, tweeted on the 5th of July, I have now had the chance to take a specialist legal advice from an expert in relevant field. In light of that advice, which is privileged and which there we go, I need to move this. I choose to keep private at this time. I have decided to continue my parliamentary career as an independent MP, where I can focus 100% on my interest on my constituents. Fine. Then Rupert Lowe responded saying, I will support James, my friend, however I can. In my view, he has been treated poorly and deserves better. I look forward to working with James in Parliament to deliver rather than just focusing on being able to work inside parliamentary parties. The reason that we have this, when 2CTV as a team got in touch with the main 2 centre-right, so-called centre-right parties, they had the same response. We don't really want to get involved with ideological battles. They both basically say the same thing. And by ideological battles, they mean conservatism. They say the populist centrism. Populist centrism is exactly what David Cameron did between 2005 and 2016. That was populist centrism, sorry. The reason for this is because they say, well, if we say right-wing things, if we say conservative things, we're going to lose the votes of some middle-class liberals. We have to pander to them. If we focus too much on free market economics, we're going to lose those who want to just give more money to the NHS without reforming the healthcare system. Both Reform UK and the Tory party are now going with that line. This is the declaration from both of them saying we are basically not focusing on conservatism. They've given up on conservatism in this country. Meanwhile, across the rest of the continent, in Europe, we've got France, we've got Germany, we've got Poland, we've got many other countries around Austria. The so-called centre-right parties are actually focusing on conservative values. The point of party politics is you come up with ideas, you come up with policies, you present it to the public. If they like it, they can vote for you. If they don't like it, then you will lose the election. It's called democracy. Get on with it. Lying to the public is not the best way to do this. Lying and deceiving them, saying, before the election, we're going to say this. Maybe after the election, we could do something else. That's exactly what Keir Starmer did. That is a problem. Now we have these guys, Reform UK, the three main flagship policies that they have. The first one was on the environment and climate. Reform UK's flagship policy on the climate is to increase taxes. Not really sure why. They said we're going to fight net zero by increasing spending and taxes. Then they came up with policies of nationalisation. We could make a nuanced argument about nationalisation of some of the infrastructure of this country, because people say they are national monopolies. I'm absolutely willing to compromise. Absolutely. When it comes to water, for example. But for example, going around saying failing industries, they all have to be bailed out on taxpayer without having any plan to make it better is disgusting. So that's the second flagship policy from Reform UK as well. Then you've got obviously all these other nonsense going around saying that, well, what we have to do is instead of actually providing any proper plan, for example, the MAGA movement in America, President Trump came up with a number of policies that the establishment, the populist centrists said, it's not popular. It's very controversial. How are you going to get the votes from the other side? Well, perhaps you don't need to get the votes from the other side. Perhaps you don't have to pander to the other side. Perhaps you have to give them the plan, and there will be enough people who used to vote for the Democrats, who used to vote for the Labour Party, who could say, actually, maybe that makes sense. We're going to go with that. You know who did that? Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan. You could disagree with a lot of the policies from Thatcher, from Reagan. You could do that, absolutely. But the point is, they had a fundamental view that what we're not going to change who we are. We're going to give the country, this is what we stand for. You want it, vote for us. And they did vote for them. If it doesn't work, you could say you guys were terrible prime ministers and presidents. Fair enough. You could say it doesn't work. You could say Thatcherism fails. You could say Reaganism fails. You could say that. But that's how democracy works. They gave them a proposal and the public voted for them. Rather than now, where politicians and parties keep lying to the public just to get the vote. Now Reform UK supporters are saying, no, but just go with it. Because we have this team now. It's all about winning. It's all about getting involved and getting the vote. Guess who else was saying that? David Cameron's Tory party. Between 2005 and 2016. They were saying the same thing about UKIP and Nigel Farage, saying, no, ignore those guys. What we have to do, just compromise, sell out, because we have to get the vote. Just vote for David Cameron. Everything's fine. Now Reform UK is doing the exact same thing when it comes to the Conservative side. Not Tory, I'm talking about conservatism, small c conservatives. When it comes to Rupert Lowe, when it comes to anybody else. Just compromise. Forget about your patriotic conservative movements. Just vote for us. We're going to have some left-wing policies. We have to pander to Islam. But because there's so many of them in the country, we have to get the votes. Be realistic. Tony Blair used to do that. Tony Blair used to say, I don't understand these people in my party who just want to just provide left-wing policies to the public. You have to lie to the public. Don't give them left-wing policies at first. Win the election, then you could do left-wing policies. Lie. Now we have the same thing. Tony Blair did that, David Cameron did that, and Nigel Farage and Reform UK doing that. And Kemi Badenoch is not even bothering with any of that. Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the Tory party, is just completely given up, saying, well, we don't know exactly what we stand. What we do know, we're not going to do conservatism. We're going to do liberal conservatism, whatever that means at this point. But she's not even trying to win. None of it makes any sense. She's not even trying to win. And most of this nonsense is battle of egos. It's battle of personalities and egos. So we got people, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are watching this. Some of you guys will be in the same trap. If you are Team Kemi or Team Nigel or Team this or Team that, you will say anything that person says I'm going to support, and anything that someone criticizes, I'm going to basically attack. For example, inside Parliament, we got the grown-ups in Parliament, right? The Conservative Party decided to attack Reform UK for losing James McMurdo as another Reform MP, okay? James McMurdo has left. He's now independent. The Tories made fun of it. Stupid, right? Lee Anderson responded. Let me just show you first Lee. Lee said, didn't you lose 244 MPs this time last year, right? What's the percentage in that? Ooh, what a funny thing. It backfires on both the Tories and Lee Anderson, who's the whip of Reform, because Rupert Lowe then responded, didn't you, Lee Anderson, campaign for Jeremy Corbyn to become Prime Minister? Which he did. Lee Anderson, over the last few years, has had, and I did count, he has had 425 parties. He's changed 425 parties in this country. He just changes parties every 10 minutes. But not similar parties. He was Labour, then he became Liberal Tory, then Dry Tory, then Reform UK. It backfires every single time. These idiots, and their supporters love it. They all love it. They're like, oh, well, the Tory party said this about Reform UK. Ha ha, Reform UK lost another MP. So what? And then Lee Anderson, on behalf of Reform, says, well, didn't you lose some MPs in the last election? You were a Tory until 10 minutes ago, Lee. And you were a Jeremy Corbyn supporter trying to get Jeremy Corbyn to become elected before you became a Tory and Reform. None of this makes any sense. Now, the reason that this problem that exists, we are talking about parliamentary parties. None of these people care. It's all about the battle of egos. Now, all these idiots who are going to go around saying, oh, no. We have Restore Britain, we have UKIP, we have Advance UK. None of these matter right now because they're not in Parliament. You can talk about the future. Maybe one of these people could win. Brilliant. Well done. Well done, UKIP. Well done, Advance UK. If Restore Britain becomes a party, well done. Right now, as we speak, parliamentary party politics, then the two parties that are supposed to be centre-right have decided, no, there's no need to do conservatism because we have to try to win. But again, I can't even accuse the Tories of that because the Tories under Kemi Badenoch, they're not even trying to do that. They are doubling down on liberal conservatism. But I genuinely don't know what the Tories stand for right now. It's very, very difficult to say what they're doing. Reform UK, they're doing what Tony Blair did. And because obviously Nigel Farage and Blair, Richard Tice and Blair and those guys, you know, they're friendly, they know each other, they're quite close. They learn from each other. The establishment part of Reform UK, they're all from the establishment. Obviously Richard Tice, Nigel Farage, relatively speaking Lee Anderson, but mostly the main two. Azir Youssef was also a Tory until 15 minutes ago. Now he's pretending to be the biggest anti-Tory person ever. Like, you were literally pushing for the same policies as Rishi Sunak. And now you're saying, the Tories have ruined the country for 14 years. You're all idiots. Absolute idiots. So you have this to deal with. And once you actually decide, as normal people out there, to realize that party politics doesn't change your life. In Britain, when you have a centralized political system, it's not even a political system, centralized state, it doesn't matter who the minister is, it doesn't matter who the prime minister is, it doesn't matter who the party in power is, because the state runs the country, whether you like it or not. I'm not saying give up, I'm not saying leave the country, I'm not saying start a revolution. Still vote, definitely vote, support the party when the time comes. Wait for the election. Don't just follow a figure that you like. I did that. I used to be a Tory when I was young. Then I grew up. Don't follow figures. Follow ideas. Follow values. Decide at the time of the election. Read their manifestos. That's the only way you can fix this country. That's the only way political parties can actually be held accountable, because they know they can get away with it. They lie. Every manifesto, they lie. Every single time. because they know that you're not voting for the manifesto, you're voting for Keir Starmer, you're voting for Rishi Sunak, you're voting for Nigel Farage. That's the main reason. There's a couple of comments. Someone says, Nidhesh says, Tusi, what's stopping you people being fourth patriot vote and bend them over? I don't know what that sentence is, but like Muslim vote. I don't know what that sentence means. If you could do it in proper English, that will help, and I could actually respond to that. The problem is that all parties and all politicians are completely reactionary puppets, and each one of them is trying to be like, I'm different to the other one. Keir Starmer continues to pretend, no, I'm different. I care about the country. Nigel Farage, Kemi Badenoch, she hasn't actually even said she cares about the country. I'm not really sure what she stands for, right? All of them, apparently they care about the country. The other party leaders don't care. You don't care. The other party members, I can assure you, most normal, ordinary people, part of political parties, stupid ideas. Some of them have terrible policies. Some of them are misguided, left wing, right wing, center, whatever. Most normal people in political parties care about the country. So don't go around saying, no, I'm the only one who cares about the country. It doesn't matter. It's all about the politics of intent. It's all stupidity right now. People say, no, vote Nigel Farage, he's the one who cares. Vote for Nick Tanconi, he's the one who cares. I don't care which one of you cares. I don't care about the politics of intent. Focus on outcome. Oh, but this one says the right things. So what? Mussolini said the right things for the time in Italy before he took control. Does that mean Mussolini's policies are right? But this one is patriotic. I don't give an F. Judge based on people's actions and outcomes. I'm getting sick and tired of this. Everybody's all right. I like Nigel's face. Or I like Kemi. She's a woman. I don't give an S. Oh, but Nick Tanconi goes to protest and confronts the illegal migrants. I don't give an F. And Nick is a great friend of mine. No disrespect to him. It's not about him. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. But if you back Nick Tanconi just because he goes and confronts some left-wing protesters, so what? Judge based on the overall package. I had to do this because, again, when we heard about James McMurdo leaving Reform UK, standing as now being an independent MP, and when I did ask the 2CTV team to go and talk to Reform and Tories, just as a reaction, as a feedback, what do they have to say about this? And all of them saying the same thing. All of them saying we have to sacrifice, we have to compromise. Well, we got a lot of Muslims in the country. We got a lot of champagne socialists, but we can't piss them off. You're gonna have to get their votes. Why? Give people the right policies. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maya Tusi, and we are the media.